Los Angeles, I mean Seattle. I'm in front of the Starbucks dealing with a crisis that I knew was going to happen. I knew it was going to happen because there were hints of it all along. They started running out of an item here, an item there, and then all of a sudden, all of the items are just missing, all of them. Like I try to have milk, milk is on. I don't know how that happened. And then it was the eggs. Now I care about the type of chicken run. And I do believe in an ectopia. But as I said, if we were meant to give up eating poultry altogether, then human eggs would be caviar. And there is no human caviar. There's just eggs. You're designed to eat eggs. You're designed to be friends with the chickens, treat them with respect and ethics. But you eat anything else is just blasphemy. And I speak as someone who's mostly vegan, most. But then you sometimes have to prepare yourself. And a doctor would recommend that you eat something I neglect to do all the time. I don't know what goes on with me. I'm so stressed with my PTSD that I forget sometimes to just try. Try to enjoy food like I used to enjoy. And I've had a stressful day today, and they were like, "Do you want your tea?" And I'm like, "Yeah, I do." But I couldn't touch the bloody thing. I can now because I paid for it. That is just good timing. That is just I just saw the funkiest Captain America on his little car. That is a good one. That is a really expensive good song. But yeah, I was talking about how, yeah, I just had a rough day today. Just a rough day. So I have to go. You can't make this up. You really can't. Wow. I'm supposed to take a second and eat food, but it's rude to eat on camera. It takes so long to stop my chips. And I know. How do you run out of something like sriracha though? And then every time I say sriracha, they're like, "What? What?" I'm like, "It's sriracha." I'm sorry, it's my Spanish is terrible because I say sriracha, but if there's another way to say sriracha, I don't know. I say sriracha. Is sriracha not sriracha? I mean, it's not like Sinatra. It's not sriracha, so I don't know. I'm just weird that way. But anyway, I am, as I tell everyone, I'm doing my homeless thing, which is super funny because it's like I shouldn't be homeless, but I just don't want to pay rent because I like the idea that you can just leave. I don't know. I have the opposite of abandonment issues. I just don't have attachment issues because I don't attach. Which is a little sad. I mean, you want to put yourself in a position where you can reach out and talk to people. But it's hard for me. It really is because, I have my moments. Every little thing sets me off and I'm so angry all the time. So angry. Don't mean to be. It's just Okay, okay. So not probably Monday, but by Tuesday, I have this brand new outfit that I'm going to wear. It's super fucking risque. It's super risque. And today there was a DJ and I was dancing and everything. And I had some I guess you want to call her a Karen. Karen. She's on her scooter. She's on her scooter, electric scooter. And she shouted at me, cover yourself up. There are children. I'm like, I'm wearing a leather outfit and I'm fully clothed. So, I mean, what exactly is the lesson that you have here that people aren't allowed to dance or that they're not allowed to gyrate their hips, they're not allowed to twerk? Because I was doing pure African ballet. So, am I not allowed to dance ballet? Because I'm training it. So, I felt like I could do that in a safe space. But this person wanted to invade my space with such negativity. I'm sad about that. I mean, I literally cut my finger open dancing. Oh, I mean, look, it's not a performance or anything like that. It's just, doesn't it feel good to be alive? Doesn't it feel good to be in it all day? You know, it takes several brushes with unaliving, as I like to call it, when I have to deal with people. But that's what I ended up dealing with. You know, I want to go into this whole thing and I'm trying to be as gentle with it as possible because some part of it is we're trying to teach you that, hey, you walk around like everything's fine and everything is not fine. Like, it's a super dangerous place. You like to think of the people around you as feral cats. Really, you know, they're just dangerous people. But I try to go to my lobby and I go behind a person and he pulls out his weapon on me and it's, excuse me? You're going into the same building I am. Why are you pulling a weapon on me? And two, there's no security there. But then again, it's not like a posh building. Like, you don't expect security there every single time. And you shouldn't need security there every single time. It should be understood. Don't pull your weapon on people. But he relays to me, well, I've been jumped several times. It's just like, I get that. But were you jumped specifically here in this lobby? Did I jump you? Because I didn't. I mean, I jumped pretty high. I mean, there was that one time this guy just asked me to jump over and over and over and over again. He said that I never jumped high as you. I don't know how I do a callback that quickly. I'm a super fan. I'm a super fan. I'm on the wrong side of it because I am a super fan of all things fantastical and supernatural. And then I also see the other side of it of, well, yeah, but that happens here all the time. I wasn't able to relate because I was so busy dancing that I had a very interesting conversation with someone about biotech. Biotech. Because I like to consider myself someone who's within the field, but there was someone who put it into better perspective. And I hate to say it, he was so cute. He was so cute. He was the most evil person I've ever met, but he would he's a villain. He's a super villain. He's an absolute super villain. Because he said that he was working for a lab and he was doing research and they actually paid for his graduate school. So it's like, great, great, great. So what exactly did you do? And then he had a conversation with me of, oh, so I would give mice genetic diseases in order to test the medication on them. And then you say, what? That's, shouldn't that be the other way around? Shouldn't you find mice that have the genetic disorder that you want to cure and then you try and cure it with the medicine that you created? Because what you're describing is weaponized genetic warfare. And then he left after very cryptically telling me, I have to keep checking on my food. And I was just, that's an odd conversation being, because we were cornholing at the time, not in the way that I like. It was literally like, you might as well have been in Texas. It was camping, because it's like super funny. I was at a pub earlier today and there was the, I guess, camping World Series. And these two guys were just throwing hacky sack things into the cornhole. I'm really terrible at describing this. And then I show up at the park and someone is literally doing that. And I said, why not? Why not? I never try and talk to people. And like, honestly, I never talk to guys because it's just like, I'm gay. But it's hard when you're gay to talk to guys. Because when you try and talk to them, it's, well, are you? Okay. Um, did you ever consider it's a weird dance. It's like straight people have so easy. They should take pity on us. They take pity on us poor homosexuals because we don't have the luxury of just yes or no. It's yes or I could be a statistic for a hate crime. There's no like discernible middle ground for the most part. Is that whole entire spectrum of just danger and fear. But nobody wants to technically be alone forever. So you want to try and talk to people, but it's super hard. But that's what I was dealing with. He's trying to have a conversation with me. And this is one of those situations where you say, I like the West Coast because at least they ask the pertinent questions. Ask the pertinent questions of what's in our food. Because that's what I've been trying to talk about on my channel. This whole idea of it's not enough to just eat right, eat your vegetables. You have to take it from a perspective of okay, well, how are vegetables grown? Because people are all up in arms every time I download a video from X, I get this video that shows up in the commercial, and it's about this chicken holocaust that is going on of these farmers who cage free range chickens, and it's a huge metaphor too because like every time you go back to your apartment because you're hiding from the robbers and the thieves and the rapists and all that. You're hiding. You're not allowed to move around. And for the most people, it's you go to work, you go to school, and then you have to rush back to your house. You have to rush back to your apartment because you want to be safe. And it's like, no, no, no. You should have the ability to walk like these people do. Look at all these people. They are walking and enjoying life on the East Coast. Who they have peers, they do, and but they don't use it enough. They really don't. they don't do any videos about how vegetables and fruit are grown. They do videos about sugar, and sugar is never exactly your thing. One of the great things about coming to Starbucks as often as I do, every day, at least twice or three times a day, sometimes four times, is, live that life. You get to see them actually make the beverages, and sometimes you see them, just dip into the sugar and then you just go, ugh. Because I was going to do a day without my super sugary drink. And look, they didn't even have time to write a message on it or anything. It's like they felt so super rushed because the app itself just said, no, you don't order Starbucks. It's just like, I'm sorry. I- If there was a consistent grocery within walking distance here, I'd go to it. But I don't have a refrigerator, and I want to be able to say I eat apple every single day, sometimes two or three times a day, sometimes four times, because I'm men. But the idea of eating well is such theory if you're not going to follow it through all the way back to the farm. I don't know. Maybe I'm the person who wants to talk about that. I'm the person who wants to say, where does it come from? How is it grown? Open your mouths, people. But that's hard. It's hard to say that. And they call it Starbucks. So I've seen movies like The Devil Wears Prada, and these people, they eat there. You watch Game of Thrones. Game of Thrones was very adamant about supporting Starbucks by putting it directly on camera in the middle of a medieval fantasy show. So I'm not disparaging the company. I just have questions. I have questions because it's all about trust. The food is good today. The food is good today. But what are the effects of it tomorrow? What are the effects of it 10 years down the road? Now, if you could guarantee to me, oh, come on. If you could guarantee that was it. If there was a guarantee for food in America that it is grown with the least amount of heavy metals, the least amount of toxic chemicals, the least amount of pesticides, herbicides, fungicides. I want to know that because there are whole companies like Whole Foods that say, we're free of all of that. We're free of it. But even they on Amazon have to tell me, yeah, but some of the food isn't good for you. Then why do you sell it then? Maybe I wasn't on the right side of it. Maybe I was on the Amazon Fresh side. So on the Amazon Fresh side, they have a different marketing campaign than the Whole Foods. But shouldn't it be standard? And shouldn't that be an American standard? I mean, as much as I spend a lot of time talking about gun violence, a lot about LGBTQIA protection stateside, I do want to talk about food safety. I do want to talk about nutrition because access to nutrition is more important than ever. Every meal that we have is an opportunity for both cultural exchange, but also reestablishing your health. Taking a time for yourself to have a meal. because you're so rushed or you're so starved the rest of the day. And I should be eating my meal, but sometimes you have to say this is important to about. So I can take some time to talk about it. Yeah, it was scary to have someone brandish a hammer against me, but hopefully next time it is a hunky Australian portraying a Norse god. Who knows? I really should just be a writer. I mean, if I just delivered scripts, it would be a lot easier. But oh well. So my food was cold and now it's getting hotter, and then my hot food was hot and now it's getting colder. So at least you could say a certain room temperature, there's an equilibrium to be found there. There's probably a lot more that I could talk about, but I don't know. I am a little hungry. I need CS Ghost. Hello, hello. Hey, buddy, you're looking great. Thank you so much for the compliment, and welcome to the channel. Welcome to the revolution. Ian and Leona always talking about important issues. Today, I started talking about food safety. I know I should be talking about like gun violence and just the idea of anger and violence in general. There's a lot of hurt goes on in this country, and we don't address it. I mean, as much as I am upset that someone brandished a weapon in my face, he had valid concern that just wasn't being heard. So I brought that concern to the person who needed to hear it. So thank you for coming by. I'm gonna enjoy my meal because but then people started showing up. So obviously, I have to stay for the few people that are here. Welcome to the channel, welcome to the revolution, new people. I'm Ian Eleanor. I did want to talk about teleportation. The idea that I keep saying the idea of things, but ideas are important. If you have ideas, do something with it. There's a lot of people who spend their lives working for someone else when they have brilliance within them all times. Potential. Yeah. That guy's really, really good. Like, he just does not stop. He finds a beat and, he just keeps going. I think I hear Jerome. Yeah, so I was trying to talk about teleportation. The idea of moving organic matter from one area to the next doesn't make sense. But you can push attention there. And isn't that what we do every day? We already do teleportation. Just don't think of it that way because we think of the human locomotion part of it, the driver getting behind the truck that delivers. But what you should be thinking about is central repositories of one thing that could be transformed into many things. I'm in front of a Starbucks, so I'm going to have to talk about it. I want them to have a 3D printer in Starbucks. Why? Because I want them to be 100% recycled within. And I want them to incentivize people to chuck their things right in the bins that they have here already, because that would make more sense. I've read into teleportation for now, a black hole which already exists, but don't know where you'll end up. We keep trying to make the science more complicated than it is. The science sometimes gets in the way of what teleportation is. Teleportation is translating an intention from one area to another area. So we do that all the time. We have remote control. When we went to Mars, we had the melts. We had these autonomous robots that received a continual signal, and they took samples, they drilled for you, they mapped, they did all those things. We didn't go further with that and say, that is what we should have done here. Because if we had, we would have been better prepared for things like COVID. Because COVID thrives in an environment where we're social. We are social creatures and we can't seem to turn that off no matter how much autism we keep injecting into people. But yeah, it is. It's autism is the answer to the real issue that we have of every single person here is a vector for their own ecosystem of viruses, fungi, and bacteria. It's not nice to say that you're a petri dish, but I'm a petri dish, you're a petri dish. And sometimes the petri dish is just a little too contagious. That's not a problem if you said, I live on an island and there's nobody else on the island. Or I stay at home. Or if I had standardized safety mechanisms, that's what I want to say. You're in Seattle, right? I'm in San Diego. It's already night here. Okay, I can show you right there. Like the sun is going down, or you're on the west coast, so it's a little bit more west. So within maybe 15, 20 minutes, it will be so dark. The reason I keep bringing up this idea of teleportation is we spend a lot of time walking aimlessly or driving aimlessly or repeating these motions that we know are dangerous. If everyone was the best driver in the world, you wouldn't have car insurance or car accidents. If there was a parking spot for every car, you wouldn't have someone going around with paper to give people tickets. You're not designed for your city to have cars. You keep doing that, but it never shakes down that way. You are designed to maybe evolve past it. I think we have moved far enough that we could say, let's just do teleportation. Let's just send intention through something like this and then push what we need to push or create what we need to create. This is why we have Roblox. Roblox and Minecraft are teaching our young children take a building block and then build something structured with it. Children learning this. Adults don't seem to understand this. They're still of the, okay, we'll get the cement truck and then you got to dig a hole. And it's like, no, it's just have the blocks there and then in between destabilize the molecules until they reform again. And guess what? It's now solid in any shape. Or better yet, you don't even have to use cement. You could use hemp concrete. You could use plastic. I have so much respect for people outside of America sometimes because they're willing to try new things. They built entire playgrounds out of recycled plastic, made it just a little bit softer so that if a kid fell on it, it wouldn't bash their head open. It would still hurt, but that little margin of safety to show that they care about their next generation, we don't seem to do here. Yup, you're a very intelligent person. Clearly not, because I am homeless, so I can spend all my money on Starbucks, where at this point I can't live. I'm not trying to be rude about it, because I literally get my food from them and I skedaddle out. But It just made more sense because why would you buy a house or rent when you could just enjoy what you want to enjoy? You want to play video games? Just play video games. You want to go for a walk? Go for a walk. You want to get an e-bike and then travel? You could do that. You want to travel around the world? Just do that. But when you get a house, when you get an apartment, you're just saying, I have a place that is mine. I have key indoors protection. It's like, no, it isn't. It isn't. Because sometimes you'll leave that place and then you have to be around other people who you don't know and you don't trust because you don't have a village mentality. Hold on. Something I'll show you. Moonlight Jagger, I got the moonlight Jagger. Got moonlight Jagger. I don't even try to show you. I'm on you. Moonlight Jagger. Is Clint watching with us? I see another viewer in here. Long time lurkers. I get people all the time who come to the channel and they're just super quiet. I don't mind. Love your voice. I have a very, very strange voice. I understand that it is very strange. And it's a little off today because I've just been dancing and it just threw my cord off. So there is that. Here it comes. Ooh, my Jagger. Ooh, my Jagger. Ooh, my Jagger. I don't even try to control you. Nothing to I'm out on you. Ooh, my Jagger. Ooh, my Jagger. Yeah, I love that song. It's one of my favorite songs to sing. No, this is why I actually want to go to Europe because they need help. Europe needs help in a way America just I don't know. I don't feel like America truly cares. Hungary almost had a nuclear meltdown. The country of Hungary had a nuclear program, and I didn't know about it. I never wanted to know about it. I just didn't care about Hungary. I'm just going to be honest. I knew the country was there. I didn't care about it. Now I have to care about it. They don't have enough water in Europe. They're experiencing drought. I was going to be in Europe for the summer. I was going to enjoy all of it. But then Home Office was like, no, go back to America. And I'm like, oh, no. But if I was there, I was going to be able to travel around and I was going to talk to them about the idea of planting more trees. But that's one of the reasons why, hold on, lap break here. 2ADI, hello darling, I'm back from a previous slot. Hi, welcome back, welcome back. I knew I had someone here. So, yeah, I'm trying to educate people about what was going on. So, the country of Hungary had a nuclear program. They knew that Europe was experiencing a drought. They knew that the year before and the year before, it's just been hotter and hotter temperatures in Europe. They didn't have a plan. So they were running this thing at full power. They were running this thing at full power. And they didn't have a way to cool down the reactors at all. Now, doesn't that concern you? Because it concerns me. How can you have a country that says we're going to have our own nuclear program, but we don't know how to run a nuclear program? What? the fuck does the United Nations actually do? Because if it's just that they have fancy parties with really expensive dresses and tuxedos and that's it, then just say that. Where was the UN Security Council? Because that's almost like a declaration of not war, just incompetence. No, I'm not trying to be rude to the people of Hungary because I plan on going there at some point. There's some really attractive people in Hungary. You gotta go to Hungary. But what were you thinking having a nuclear program that you didn't have enough water from? I mean, I say this as a person who said, I don't have enough water to afford Los Angeles fun. So you come to Seattle, and Seattle's expensive too. I went for popcorn locally here in Seattle, and they said $38. $38 for a large popcorn, and you want to say, oh, I'm sorry, is there a new Marvel film that you're gonna bring out the fucking team? Because why are you charging $38 for popcorn? But they said it was $38, and I was like, okay, good, good. So I ate a little of it, and then I gave the rest to a homeless person. I was like, you know what, for that price, just enjoy it. Just enjoy it. Oh my God, that's not smart of him. I gotta take a shower and get ready for the work week. Good night. Thank you, CS Ghost, for coming by. Thank you so much for coming by. You shouldn't trial and error a nuclear program. It's so funny you say that because I'm actually Hungarian. I want to go to my motherland one. This is why I had to bring it up. I had to bring this up because you're talking about going back to your motherland. Is your motherland even going to be there if they have a nuclear program that they almost let have a nuclear meltdown? That's something to think about. Do you hear that, Eminem? I I swear I just heard Eminem. DJ, spin that shit. Oh fuck, that's more than out here. I would just go without popcorn. I cannot live without popcorn. I cannot. I would go to Trader Joe's just to get popcorn because one of my favorite things to do as not a celebrity, just as a musician who does it for art therapy, is that I get the popcorn and then I sit on the pier and I just watch people go by. Because sometimes that's better than television. You see people and they're in their own world and you can just, I don't know, it's just kind of fun. It's beautiful out there. It is beautiful and it should be preserved. And as much as I feel really harsh talking the way that I do, I say it out of love because you want them to succeed. You want them to say that they provide electricity to people, that they provided safety to people. And you want to go to it. I want to go to it. But how can we go to it if it's just a crater? Now, I'm talking about, Hungary and its nuclear program, but when you look at something like Seattle and you say, it's not the same thing, but is it kind of similar? Is it kind of similar that Seattle had a nuclear meltdown at the Space Needle? And you just want to say, well, weren't there checks in place? Because I was very unfortunate that they put the news on and I overheard the person had prior, they were holding weapons. And it's just like, okay, so if they had a prior of that, why would they were allowed to go near that? Because, you know, there are so many laws where they say, if you do this, you're not allowed there. So why can't we say that? This is a cash cow building. It's an area where people are expected to go with frequency, urgency, and have the best time of their lives. Why? Because you want them to go to the restaurant, not go to the airport and say, okay, well, there was a mass shooting there, so I'm done with the trip. I'm not going to go to I'm not going to get a Seattle t-shirt after I'm dodging bullets. I'm just not going to do that. I mean, that's just the way I think. Some people might actually buy the shirts Seattle's based, and it's just like, okay, well now you have a way to staunch the blood, but that's it. But where's thought in this? Where's the thought? Because we keep going about it. I mean, I see, at least when I'm on the pier, I see people who are in uniform and they're doing the walk, they're doing the rounds, and for the most part, it's supposed to feel safe. But every once in a while, you see people with weapons. Every once in a while, you see someone. Just as I was coming up to the Starbucks, I saw someone with a motorcycle, not an e-bike, but a motorcycle, who came onto the walkway area, and you just say, "Okay, well." Oh, by the way, take a look at that. See? You want to be permissive, you really do, but then sometimes it's just, could you put some thought into it? Could you? I love that. I also like to sit and watch people, like to figure out the behaviors, and then I create a story of their life in my head. It's because I'm a writer. It's because I'm a writer. I like the ability to practice background writing because it's really easy to write for main characters. It's hard to write for supporting characters because you want to make them interesting enough that you care about them. Should any plot happens, but you want to be able to keep the focus back on the main character. So by doing my little popcorn theater, theater of the pear, popcorn theater of the pear, I'm able to, practice that. It's a skill as a writer. All right, now let me read this. Maybe Hungary is going to be the new Constantinople. Every every city has the opportunity to start its own imperial empire. I almost wish that that was actually a thing. I'm so glad that you mentioned that because if there's a really good, successful city out there, I want them to tell everybody. I want them to share how you run a city that doesn't fall into such utter chaos. Tell me how you do it because I wanna love cities again. I mean, I grew up in New York. I hated it, obviously, because I left. But now I almost prefer it because even with 9/11, where America sacrificed New York, I just want to say that again. America sacrificed New York. And we were all okay with it. I'm still okay with it because we never actually did a trial or anything. We had I believe, the Ken Starr report, or is that for the Monica Lewinsky thing? They cared more about Monica Lewinsky than they did 9/11. That tells me everything I need to know about the United States of America. There was more of an investigation into presidential dalliance than how America offered up New York City on a silver platter to terrorists. It's crazy because California can actually separate from the United States if they want to. We have the fourth highest GDP in the world, making 4 billion in agriculture yearly. I wish a bitch would. I wish a bitch would because then California could negotiate with the rest of the country. That's why I stayed in California for the longest time because I said California can do things that other places can't because they have the population and then they also have the resources. But they never wanted to because for California, they like the idea that things are so broken there because it just forces you into one group or the other. They're both right and they're both wrong. It is right to want to enjoy acting, enjoy being a musician, enjoy this, enjoy that. But then it's also wrong to say, Well, okay, I don't care about my community. I don't care about my townspeople. I pick up litter here not because I like Seattle, but because I respect the land. It's in my blood to just respect the land that I'm on. And maybe it inspires someone to say, yeah, I should care a bit more too. And California should care a bit more. They have a very mixed message in California. And I don't know where that goes. Maybe it leads towards they just negotiate better. The strange part about the Articles of Confederation was they had a point. They disagreed. It's okay to disagree. You have states' rights. We're the United States of America, not America. France is France. Germany is Germany. We are a country that said United States of America. We're still our own little thing that we create. We disagree and then maybe agree on some things. It's beautiful out here, but I don't like living in. Yeah, okay. Yeah, Americans are extremely jaded, and the government has done a really good job at grooming and controlling these people to not think for themselves. It takes something like YouTube. You know, I don't think Google enough sometimes for having this kind of platform because I'm on X sometimes, and they wouldn't even let me post my own culture. You see, if you're gay, you should be able to post your own culture. It's your culture. A lot of people say, okay, well, that's fashion and drag race and stuff. No, no, no. It's because you love men. Being homosexual means you love men. So that is a beautiful thing, and it is nothing to be ashamed of. It is beautiful. It should be celebrated. It should be your culture. But X decided, no, you can't share your own culture. It's like, so, so what does that mean? You reject my culture? X? Elon Musk, you reject my culture as a gay person? That's wrong. At least Google had the amount of caring to say, number one, we'll preserve your music because you did not. So all my earlier discography is there. And then two, they give a platform like YouTube where you can have these kind of discussions about the fate of the human race and the fate of your own country and the fate of your state, which you can decide and do it in ways more than just voting, because sometimes voting isn't enough. Sometimes you actually have to go and vote with your dollars, go and vote with the amount of attention and detail that you spend caring for your city and state. Oh my God, that's crazy. This world is so sensitive now. We live in a very sensitive world, and that should be a good thing because that should bring us together. But for some reason, it divides us. And understand, it's a lot to take. I fill my feed with my own gay culture, but it's a way to connect people because every once in a while I talk about a real issue. Every once in a while, not that my gay culture isn't a real issue, but like I say the most pressing, the most important issue. I talk about it on my X feed. And because they subscribe to my gay content, guess what? They get to be a part of that conversation too. Okay, we should definitely work on celebrating ourselves more and making a living again. Good, good, good. Okay, hear me out. I love my games and I love my bisexual, but can I understand people calling themselves or them? It's just weird to me. Gender politics is super weird because it is new. It is new, but it's also very honest. How freeing would it be if you were able to say they and them because you understood it meant your duality? Sometimes it might mean that, you physically want to change, but it could also mean that sometimes you just feel more aggressive or sometimes you feel more nurturing. And that's okay. America and certain Western societies have this thing of we have to pigeonhole you and make sure that you're only one thing. Because if you're more than one thing, it means that there's something wrong with you. And it's like, no, that's not the case. Sometimes you just feel a little different, or sometimes it. Sorry about that. I swear I heard someone say I'm texting. But either way, it, sometimes you just cannot be the same thing to everyone. The way I'm just go dancing, I'm model, you know what I mean. Do my little turn on the yeah, on the catwalk, yeah. Okay, I guess it's because I grew up with more of an Asian perspective, and they have this thing. I know it's like here he comes again. I gotta show this all. Gotta show this all. Oh my god, sexy. Ah, LOL. I love that for you. What country are you in? If you love it. So I'm in Seattle. So I'm still in America. I tried to go to Europe, and Europe was like, "No, we like you too much. Go back to America." And that's because America still has some forests. I just don't understand why Americans don't feel the way that I do of how beautiful the country is. Some do. I have to give credit where credit's due. Some do, but you just don't do enough. I keep telling people stop voting for people to be in office. Put yourself first. Get your friends, get your family, and just do your own thing. Because there's so much space. Sometimes it's okay to disagree and then start a movement and make a change, but sometimes the change is just your left. Oh my god, why does it feel like days come out there? You see that? I wish I was a little closer to the water because I could show it off. But it's this beautiful, beautiful dust, and it's just gorgeous. It's just, and I've got like the best drummer like right there. I mean, come on, the man is skilled. We can't complain about politicians because if you wanted to do the job, then you just do the job. We keep looking for an alpha male to tell you what to do when it should be, don't you have something that you should be doing? You can't complain about, oh, well, the streets are just covered in filth all the time. Well, when is the mayor going to change things around? Oh, the sewer just backed up and it's in the street. You know, who's going to turn that around? It's like, no, no, it's your job too. We used to have towns and villages where people felt appreciated and appreciative. That's the whole point of living in a good town, a good city, makes you feel appreciative, that you don't take it for granted. It's so coming out. I invite more people to think about what they. Sometimes it's as easy as making the right decision for yourself. It's a lot of power that you have in your own hands. And you have these things, cell phones, all these technology. And we have to start using it for the right reasons. Hi, Tiffany. Hi, Tiffany. Rainbow. Oh my God. Hey, could I come in? Uh, sure. I have to invite you in, which means I would need your email. And I don't know. Do you still have that email I gave you last time? Because if so, then you would have to email me, and then I could bring you up. And then we could do that in like 20 minutes. 20 minutes. Could you do it that way, Rainbow? Because I really should eat my food because I bought all this food and I haven't eaten anything. I've just been sipping tea the whole time. You can tell I was just born English. All right, darling, I'm going to get ready for bed. It was great seeing you again. I'll play another time. Thank you to ADI. Thank you so much for coming by. Clint, I'm here. Clint, the two of you should be on my channel. So what I'm going to need you to do, both of you email me, and then we could do that for in about 20 minutes. Because right now I'm in the middle of Seattle and it's a beautiful sunset. I want to eat and watch the sunset. Because I'm fancy that way. So I'm going to do my whole spiel that I normally do. Hello, my name is Ian Lee. I'm an environmentalist, I'm a human rights activist, I'm a werewolf, I am an alien and I'm a human. I am a veteran with PTSD from military sexual trauma. I'm not getting any better. Yeah, today's another day where another PTSD scare, a lot of confrontations with few people. But to their credit, if I'm going to wear more provocative things as a musician slash spokesperson for environmental issues, I'm going to get criticized. So I've got to get a bit of thick skin. So thank you for that reminder. You can't just curse people out because they feel shell shocked. I like what you've done with your hair. I finally fixed it. That's something I actually want to talk to Clint and Rainbow about. So I have to do that because that's a longer conversation about hair. Because I'm just gonna say it. I'm done with traditional soap. I still use soap occasionally, and I guess that's a weird thing to say. Because like before I eat or before I touch anything, I use soap. But then, what do you use after the soap? Because that philosophy defines what happens to your skin, what happens to your hair. Because a lot of people they buy shampoo and I can't help but talk about this. They buy shampoo and conditioner, but the shampoo and conditioner in itself is so chemically corrupt. It's the best way I can put it. It's chemically corrupt because it's designed to make your hair fall out even more. So you're like, I have to buy this again. I'm so ugly. When it should be, well, stop using it, let your hair recover, feed yourself, because most hair issues that you have, they're because you're malnourished, because you stop eating. All my favorite people in the world, you love them, but you just want to say, could you just get fat? Could you just get fat so I can still have you on this earth? Like, God, eat a sandwich, why don't you? And I say this to, my favorite musician ever, Ariana Grande. You're on a sabbatical. Please eat. Enjoy your food. Enjoy ice cream. Enjoy having a gelato. Just pick your feet up on a couch. I always condition my hair before I get my hair cut. You want to do that. It's like it's ingrained to you to make it easier for them. But sometimes you have to say, What am I doing? Where does this stuff come from? How is it manufactured? And like, what is the end purpose of this company? Because if it's to restore your hair, then your hair should be growing. Your hair should be longer. If it isn't, then please stop using it. Just pick up some food, eat, eat. If you want better hair, stop using shampoo and conditioner. Go to the grocery, go to a restaurant, pay them. They're the people who grow your hair. They're the people who care about your hair. The people who feed you. Because your hair follicle starts inside, underneath your skin. All the shampoo and conditioner do is they just cover up your scalp, suffocating your hair follicle, causing them to break off out of sheer terror. Your hair's alive in a way that most people don't realize. Your hair is a captured organelle. Captured organelle. It was going to do its own thing. It was going to float around and flip its flagella. Flip its flagella. That's what a hair follicle is. It's alive. Alive. And yet we don't treat it that way. We don't say, oh my God, will someone feed Britney? I named my hair Britney Spears. I named my hair Britney Spears. So like, I'm gonna have a conversation with it. Bitch, are you fucking hungry? Are you hungry, Britney? Are you hungry? Okay, can I get you some mayonnaise? Can I get you a sandwich? What do you want? You want some water, Britney? Britney, can I feed you? Let me feed Britney Spears because Britney Spears is living on my head. That is the level of crazy I want people to get if it makes sure that they don't walk around like Lex Luthor if they didn't want that. If you were Michael Jordan and you want to rock that Lex Luthor, good for you. You're skilled in other ways. But some people, I want to say, no. Unless you want some Lex Luthor, take yourself to a restaurant and eat. Well, I regularly cut my. I know for certain reasons why you. Yeah. I know. I was preaching to I was preaching to Tiffany because Tiffany and I are like sisters in that particular regard of like protect the maid, protect the beauty. As I eat chips, Clint, I just let mine go. What little I have left. It just goes to nutrition, Mum. It goes to nutrition. Your hair is probably dormant and you don't even realize it because you might say, oh, well, I just shampoo and I just condition. It's like, have you actually considered that you don't get enough nutrition? Have you considered that? Because I look at my scalp all the time and sometimes I see gaps and I just say, why aren't you eating? Why aren't you fat? Fat people have some really great hair sometimes. Look at Lizzo. Lizzo is Lizzo. Like, I'm not going to tell you anything that you don't already see. You can see with your eyes. Lizzo has fantastic hair. Lizzo has fantastic hair. Maybe it's a weave. I don't know. But I can guarantee that what she does have that belongs to her is immaculate. They all do. Oh, buddy, I know I don't. Okay, I love Lizzo. Who doesn't love Lizzo? But people are afraid to live that Lizzo life because they're like, what if they say something mean? I don't want to be made fun of. It's like, well, do you want to be bald? No. Okay, well, then eat. I do get Clint to brush my hair. Look, if I could find a man to brush my hair for me, I would enjoy that. I just, it's never going to be in the cards. Like, honestly, I need to find an Aussie or I need to find a New Zealander that would brush my hair for me. I don't know what it is. I got one guy to give me his Instagram today. He was a DJ and I was dancing and we got to talking. And I'm just so awkward. I don't know. But it's just, I don't know how to talk to guys anymore. I'm terrible at it. I just don't. In a minute, I'm going to need another minute to figure out what the hell I was doing. Okay. So let's figure this out. Let's figure this out. So I'm gonna eat my food. I'm gonna ask Clint to email me because I have to get both your information in order to redo this podcast with the both of you. So within 20 minutes, Clint has to email me, and then Rainbow, if you have my email, or Clint can give you my email, and then you can email me, and then within 20 minutes, I'll do another one, and then you'll get an invite from there. All right? Okay, okay. I'll see you guys on the next podcast.